Hello, welcome back to Petrolblog's rubbish YouTube channel with me, your host, and you.
Me, yeah.
Yeah, our eldest son. Bit of housekeeping, just be careful. There are some slow children and animals on this track. So if you see any, it's like Where's Wally? Now, what was that game you used to say if you see one when you were at school? Do you remember? It's behind you when you had the
Pantomime.
That's it. I used to hate them.
They're terrible.
Still do. We're just going to do a country walk today. Because we have bad news. We have good and bad news. A very little small snippet of bad news and a big snippet of big news. Good news.
Good news, yes.
The bad news is we are without, well, what's your Instagram handle? That gives it, kind of gives it away in the title anyway, but I don't want to call you by your name because you don't want to be called by your name, but we'll just call you eldest son. Minor Gav.
Yeah, okay.
If you like. Minor Gav is now without Range Rover. To cut a long story short, and I'm sure he'll mention this on his Instagram channel, which I'll put at the bottom of the screen, that's what I'll do. It was a cost of insurance in the end.
Yeah.
It would have cost you £10,000 to insure a Range Rover, even with a year's experience and a year's no claims bonus.
Yeah.
Is that right?
Yeah.
And that's just ridiculous.
Stupid.
So, unfortunately, his Ranger had to go, which was a very reluctant sale, and I think I was close to tears on the day it went, which was his birthday, and I think you managed to hold it together quite well.
Yeah.
But I think inside your heart was breaking.
Yeah.
I think it's fair to say, and because he was suddenly without a 4x4, so I just had to basically tell him to keep the faith, because everything happens for a reason. And since then, he's done nothing else but look at insurance quotes, and the long and the short of it is, even as an 18-year-old, there's only one Land Rover you can afford to insure.
Yes.
And I say, obviously he can afford others, he can insure others, but the cost would just be ridiculous. And I said, look, do you really want to spend 4 or 5 grand of your trust fund on insurance? And the answer to that question inevitably was no. However, there was a, and I see it as a little bit of a loophole. You don't see it as a loophole, I see it as a loophole. There is one car you can insure. And so we wander up and see it. This is like terrible really, because you can see by the title and the photo on the front that what it is. But just for pretense, and just because there are slow children and animals about, let's take a wander up. He doesn't want to be on the camera. He just doubly look. Shall I do a little thing around that, and my gimbal will follow us up? If you go down to the moors today, you'll find this, and this is, you can't afford to insure a Disco 1.
Nope.
You can't afford to insure a Disco 3.
Nope.
Land Rovers or Defenders or Series, completely out of the question.
Yep.
Even a Freelander is more expensive. But if you're 18...
And...
Oh, go on.
A V8 Td5. V8 Disco.
Okay, so you can't have a Series 2 V8.
Nope.
So it has to be, the sweet spot, it has to be a Td5.
Has to be a Td5.
So if you're 18 and you've got a slight interest in 4x4s, this is your loophole. This is the way you can get behind the wheel of a 4x4 18. A Land Rover. Now, I don't know how long this window of opportunity is going to be open. So I feel like we're doing a bit of good service here. But we've had ourselves a time today.
We have.
To quote Jack Frost, an underrated Christmas movie. Do you agree? Oh, come on, you loved it.
It's alright.
Okay, it's alright. I'll give it a 7 out of 10. 5. Hang on, is it a Jeep Wagoneer in that? What does she drive?
I don't know.
Oh, am I digressing?
Yes.
Anyway, let's get back to the main event. The main event is this, and look at it. And I'm a little bit in love with this car, and I've already offered to buy it off him for more than he paid for it. And he said no. Although he might change his mind next week. We'll come on to that in a minute. But this is a fully working, MOT'd, roadworthy and insurable for an 18-year-old Land Rover Discovery. And look, it doesn't look terrible. And as much as we love the P38, it looked a little bit tatty in places.
It did.
We did a good job of making the photograph make it look a little bit better. But if you remember, there was a big dent on this side, the other side on the wing. The tailgate looked like it was white.
Or a different colour. You can fix it.
Yes, but it had a different colour tailgate at the end as well, that's correct. It had a front end that was all new and the back end was all rusty. And there were more holes on that car than Swiss cheese. At the end, come on.
Yeah, it could have been.
Adam White, hello Adam White. I think he said he needed a week's time to work on the welding, it was that much. Yeah. And that's when it becomes ridiculous. So that was another reason why I had to go. I'm going to climb up this, because I'm a Land Rover. I'm not a Land Rover owner, but my son's a Land Rover owner, so I can climb up mountains now. But look at that. And it's been a bit of a journey, quite literally, to get this.
Yes.
A week ago, we picked this up. It was a Saturday, and we drove up to Henley-on-Thames.
Yep.
And And Henry and Jeremy, if you're watching this, lovely people. Lovely people. It was advertised on Auto Trader. We just managed to get in a day before the advert shut. And I think we stumbled across a little bit of a gem, because this is probably, would you say it was the cheapest Disco 2 on the market with an MOT?
Yeah, probably, to be fair. Yeah.
I think so, without looking, for what you paid for this car. Because I think I've learned a lot about Discoveries through my son over the last month, because he has spent his entire time, and his girlfriend's had to put up with this as well. He spent most of his time looking on Facebook Marketplace, eBay, God knows what else, Auto Trader, Gumtree, Car and Classic, trying to find a Discovery. And I think it's fair to say that Discoveries, well, Disco 2s in particular, fall into two camps, maybe more. They're either rusty as hell and beyond repair.
Yeah.
They're really expensive because they are a good one.
Yeah.
Or they are being tarted up to sell.
Yeah.
And they're not very good.
Yeah.
I think this is none of those. The other thing is, the three big issues, I'm going to start walking again. The three big issues on a Discovery 2, and I'm new to this, so I'm sure there's people who have not much more knowledge on this than I have. The three big issues we found out when you're looking for a Disco 2: does the ACE system work? Sunroofs, do they leak? Because if they haven't been fixed, they probably do leak. And corrosion. And how do we score on those?
We've ticked the boxes of all three.
We have, and yet we still bought it.
Yeah.
Right, so the sunroofs leak, and we'll come on to the inside in a minute, but both sunroofs leak. The ACE system, well, when we got there, well, bearing in mind his car hadn't been used for, here's the thing, it had a full tank of fuel, a full tank of diesel. Turns out they filled it up when Russia invaded Ukraine. I think that's February 22. So that's quite literally, that's literally 2 years ago. So the diesel in this is quite old. Why did I mention that? Oh yeah, that was when they last used it. So we took it out for a test drive around the lovely manicured roads around Henley-on-Thames, and of course the ACE light comes on, and the reservoir was empty.
Not completely, but empty.
Very, very close, but enough that the pump was still working.
Yeah. But
it was very close to being empty. Bless them, and credit to them, they went out and bought some new fluid from a local Land Rover dealer, and it turned the light off, and we got home. And I think 5 miles from when we got home, the light came on again. It's using fluid. There's a man coming with a dog, so we're going to stop. Right, man with dog has gone. Nice man with nice dog. We were talking about fluid. So basically, it's got a problem with the ACE system, but we'll come on to that in a minute, because we're not worried about that, are we? No. Also, both sunroofs leak, and you'll find out the results of that underneath in a minute. And I'm going to need to get underneath this, and I say I because you're not going to get involved with this.
I'm busy.
You're busy. I'm going to get underneath tomorrow and start looking at the rust, because I think give you an indication of the surface rust, and I think it's surface rust. The tow bar gives you an idea of what it looks like underneath. Yeah, that's going to be fun. And do you know what I don't mind? I quite like Lano Guardian cars. You don't, so that falls to me. So massive punt on this thing, which is a kind of a gag when you talk about Henley-on-Thames. Get it? No, okay, fine. So I think it's probably time we gave you a little tour of the car. So, like I say, I don't think bless them, Jeremy and Henry, brilliant people. Really love these people. Really nice guys. Henry was the son of Jeremy. Henry advertised it. I did most of the conversations with Henry via email. Absolutely brilliant chap. There were things on this car that if you'd have put them in the ad, I wouldn't have undenied. I'd have been straight up there. Little things like the fact that it has original TH white number plates on the front. Oh, by the way, full set of Michelins, which, as you know, in this neck of the woods, or when you're buying a car, if someone's bothered to put a full set of Michelin tyres on, it's a very good sign. Full set of Michelins, number plate, original number plate on the back, and if we open up, before we do that, obviously look, it's missing the tyre cover, isn't it?
It is.
What a shame. Yeah. But should we have a look in the boot? The original TH white Land Rover cover. That sort of thing doesn't interest you as much as me. But that for me says good, honest, original car. Other things it's got, we think all the bodywork, pretty certain all the bodywork's original.
Yeah.
Pretty certain. Might have had some touching up now again when you can see that's original because look, it's going green. The other thing is pretty much every receipt from new.
Yeah.
Pretty much. Including the original bill of sale in Wootton Bassett. And we know we can absolutely outline and detail the history of this car from the word go. So we know it was sold originally to a farm in Wiltshire near Wootton Bassett. It spent a few years there, and then it went to we were told her brother in near Evesham, a dentist, and then he spent money no object, put loads. I can show you the receipts. I found one this morning which said he did the head gasket in 2016 at 111,000 miles.
Yeah.
Spoiler alert, this one's on 130,000, is that right?
Yeah.
Roughly. So, and he put, it's had Land Rover dealer until she sold it, main dealer, then it was specialist, and like I say, I think it's got every single receipt from new, which wasn't in the ad. Little things like that just make all the difference. Should we open up this magnificent? Is this Petrolbloggy? We'll discuss this. Is it Petrolbloggy? It's a good looking car.
Oh yeah.
It's very good looking, and it's very good off-road. We're having a lot of fun. Right, let's open it up. I don't have to open the doors today because son number one, eldest son, can do it for me. Right, we'll focus on the bottom at the moment, like original mat, original Discovery mat, and the interior is tip top. I mean, it looks like it's done 10,000 miles from this view. Then you look up. Here we go. Oh dear. Oh dear. Yeah, it's missing the headlining. The headlining is still on Henley-on-Thames. Because it's leaking.
Yes.
So, to cut a long story short, on Monday it's going to a local Land Rover specialist, and he's going to rip out the A system.
Yeah.
By the way, it's an ES, top of the range ES, so it's got the Harman, I digress again, but look, Harman Cardon, CD oil changer underneath. So it's got electric seats. It's also got 7 seats, we'll come on to in a minute, which you probably saw them a minute ago when we did the big reveal of the seat, the wheel cover.
Yeah.
Thank you for doing this.
Right.
You love your car though, don't you?
Yeah, I do.
Right, so it's going on Monday to a Land Rover specialist. He's going to rip out the A system, which apparently you're telling me is a common solution.
Well, yeah, everybody who's been to said it. So.
And what's the plan?
Stand anti-roll bars.
Stand anti-roll bars. So that's going to be done next week. He's also going to take out the sunroofs and reseal them so they can still work. He's going to service it, investigate why the airbag light's on. Yeah. Intermittent, isn't it? Thermostat, and we think the turbocharger's gone.
No, so something within the turbocharger.
Right, yeah, because it's not pulling that well, is it? It's
a
bit underpowered. Apart from that, it's a really good car. It sounds like...
It's quite bad.
Yeah, but the thing is, I think this is one of the last honest Disco 2s. Certainly in your price range.
Yeah.
I love the honesty of this thing. And the main thing is it gets you back in... It makes you back on the road again in a 4x4. And doesn't it look majestic? I mean, doesn't that look like To the Manor Born part there? And I think you could turn up to Waitrose in this and be quite happy. I am beginning to digress now. So this is the big reveal video. It's probably a lot longer than I wanted it to be. But I just like making my son get cold. Obviously I'm a cool father. But look, it's tidy, isn't it? It is properly tidy actually, and I really can't wait till we can get the headlining back in. That'll make a huge difference. At the moment we've got the worst impression of a Magic Tree air freshener dangling down from above. But yeah, we'll do a kind of walk around, proper walk around, everything wrong, everything right, kind of spec reveal kind of video at some point, if there's any interest. But that's it. That's it. We've done a reveal video. Don't forget to follow eldest son on Instagram. I'll put the name somewhere here, maybe up there or somewhere. That's it. Yam, wham, bam, thank you, ma'am.
Huh?
Nah, doesn't really work, does it? Anything you want to say?
No.
I'm chuffed a bit, so he's got this vehicle. He's also got another vehicle. We'll come on to that another time.
Some people might know.
Some people already know if you follow on Instagram. He's doing alright for an 18-year-old. A hot hatch on a 4-wheel drive.
Oh, you've giving it away now.
Okay. Thank you for watching.